We're talking with Todd Rundgren as he tours the country with his group Utopia. How much enjoyment, Todd, do you get from traveling around?
Increasingly more, leveling off at this point to a certain extent. It's not that I enjoy playing any less. I enjoy playing more all the time. It's just that although I've become more and more comfortable with playing live, I've become less and less comfortable with the innate situation of going on the road. You know, that is the excessive traveling and the ever-present economic hassles that everybody faces. You know, and we're seeking other methods of broad exposure rather than just touring live.
Are you satisfied with the audience reaction?
Oh yeah, I think we are. We have specific trouble areas which are not necessarily troublesome. They're just places where we have yet to break ground, and the reaction seems to be getting more and more unified. You know, we have our own audience and our own kind of audience, and they usually sit and listen for the concert, and then at the end they freak out. I think the audience knows how to respond better to the show we give now. You know, thinking about it in the abstract, it may not seem as romantic a concept, you know, without playing all the old material and stuff like that, but it's a much more unified approach, and in the real-time sense of sitting there and listening to the concert, it comes off generally much better.
I know you have a lot of fans. How do you feel about having such a large and loyal following?
You have the possible prospect of meeting every single one of them, and that's the reason why I read the fan mail. But the point is, I have nothing to say to change the life of any one of them, you know, or anything more to say to them, or can do no. I can't do any pointless gesture to indicate that I like them any better because they wrote me a letter. You know, it's you know, like say hi, how are you? You know, so do something that really ultimately would mean nothing to me because I would be doing it by the dozens. You know, just to do any of that, it has no particular point, and then people will sometimes, knowing this, will do things, you know, just to try and provoke me to answer them. You know, and the reason why I make records is because I can just be as objective as I am as a person. That's at my most objective when I make those records, because I just want to be able to listen to them a year later, and I want them to always be at least worth something. So that's the way I deal with them, and I've considered it over and over and over again, and I've tried to figure out, well, is there some other way I want to do this? Should I really make a serious attempt at like picking out the best letters or something like this and writing to people and stuff like that, or involving people in this karma that I've got myself involved in, you know, through whatever, and I just have to back off to where I originally was, even though my entire attitude about it is completely different, you know, even though I always get to see the best of all my fans whenever they write something to me or they make something for me. It's always like an expression of the best part of them, and I really appreciate that, and it influences me and helps me. But I can't, you know, I'm not that kind of, if I'm a teacher at all, I'm not that kind of teacher. It's only by example. I can only be reasonable. If I meet them, then I'll treat them as a human being and be as reasonable as I can with them, but I can't do something thoughtless just to please them, you know, like write a letter back. When to do that means I have to do it for all of them, you know.
Can you get upset from reading some of the fan mail?
It upsets me whenever I see somebody in an acute state of ignorance about anything. I still tend to take it personally when it's about me, you know. I mean, I get more generally upset when I see somebody that has a bad attitude about life. That even though I feel in a certain way relieved that they use me to come to in terms of needing somebody to relate to, but it upsets me that somebody as far away as me is the only thing, you know. That the whole point of my, at least at this point, the whole point of my making records is not so that somebody can relate more to me than to anybody else. It's so that they can relate to themselves and thereby relate to each other. I just, you know, I want to be in a world where automatically everybody is nice to everybody. Doesn't everybody want to be in that world? You know, I'm just stupid. I get preoccupied with it in a certain way. You know, everything that I do as an artist gets involved in that, just because that's what I'm into. It's always been that in one form or another. It's just at one point it was very personal, you know. Now it's gotten to the point where everybody likes me. What am I supposed to do? You know, I just go around and enjoy it or something like that. Well, it doesn't happen. That's not why people like me. You know, it's just not because everybody likes me. It's because I want to like them. You know, I guess. You know, I want to like them. I want to like all of them. But I don't want to put up with their silliness. You know, they don't want to put up with my silliness. And I think it's fine when somebody writes me and tells me that they don't agree with something. You know, if they're being reasonable about it. I mean, sometimes they get ridiculous, emotional. You know, like I get every once in a while. But you know, I appreciate it when somebody's got a constructive criticism for me. You know, I appreciate that they care enough about it. You know, and listen that closely to it, that they have something to say about it.